Hi guys, hope you had a good weekend. Welcome back to the school week. Here is your first video for middle school math of this week, so our third video. We're going to talk about adding negative numbers today. I'm a little crunching here so you can see the board a little better because I think that's the most important thing. So adding negative numbers. First of all, you're going to hear the word integers a lot. That is just another word for numbers, but it applies to positive and negative numbers. Okay? So here I drew a number line for you already. It's not very fancy. You guys know my number lines. I want to talk about the number line first because I think that is the most useful tool for all of us to be adding numbers, okay? So first of all, let's talk about that. To the right of 0, the numbers are positive, right? And to the left of 0, the numbers are negative. Okay, so that brings up something called absolute value, which means the distance from 0. So that means that whether I'm at 2 or at -2, the absolute value is 2, because either way, the distance from 0 is just 2. Same goes for -6. The absolute value of negative 6 is the distance from 0, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So you'll find that absolute value is something that we're going to get more into later, but it's important to kind of understand that concept now. So let's go on and talk about adding negative numbers. So a situation in life when you might add negative numbers could be when you're dealing with money. Maybe you owe somebody money or somebody owes you money. So let's say I owe you $5, and before I pay you back that $5, you loan me another $2. So now I owe you $5 and I owe you $2. So 5 plus 2 is 7, but it's a -7 for me because I owe you that money. So it's really -5 because I paid you 5 plus -2 because I paid you 2. So now I owe you 7. So I am -$7. Okay? So let's try out a couple problems together. Okay, let's say I have -5 plus -3. This is how you're going to see them on your assignment. This is how they also come up on Khan. Can you guys see that okay? I might need a different color. These parentheses are to remind you that that negative goes with that 3. So you're adding, but the number itself is negative. So that's why there's a parenthesis around the 3's. Okay, so here I am at -5. That's not the right color. Over here at -5, okay? And I'm going to add -3. So if I'm adding a negative, I'm going to the left. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 to the left. So now I have -8. Okay? Another way to look at it is you can look at the number line and say, okay, -5 is 5 from 0. Okay? -3 is 3 from 0. So if I take my -3 and I add it to my -5, then I'm at -8. Okay? We will try a couple more together. Hopefully my markers are dark enough that you can see. I'm going to try and erase my designs around here. So this is essentially all you're doing when you're adding negatives. Adding the negatives is one of the easier operations to do with positive and negative numbers. When we get into subtraction, like we will on our video on Thursday, it'll be a little trickier, but this one's pretty simple. Let me just fix my number line here. Okay, so now let's do -6 plus -2. Okay, and those parentheses, again, are just there to remind you that that negative goes with that 2, because if it didn't have the parentheses and it was just written -6 plus -2, that's a little weird and confusing. Okay, so we put the parentheses in just to clarify. Okay, so here I am at -6. and I'm adding a negative. So I'm adding, but because it's negative, I'm going to the left, okay? Or essentially, I'm adding the two numbers and then I'm keeping the sign of the bigger number, okay? So I have integer rules that I can email. You also can Google rules for adding integers if you want the list of rules. I think seeing it in this way is a little bit easier of a concept to grasp, but if you need more, you can definitely do that, or I can email you some of the handouts I have for that too, okay? So here I am, -6 plus -2. So 6 plus 2 is 8, right? And then I keep the sign of the bigger number, okay? So adding negative numbers. Let's try one more. Let's do -3 plus -1. Okay, so I'm over here at -3, and I'm adding one more negative, so now I have -4. Okay, so you loaned me $3, so I was -$3 to you. Then you loaned me one more dollar, so now I owe you $4, so I'm -$4. Okay? And here is your assignment. Remember, these are the assignments that you can show me on Zoom, or you can, oops, where's my camera? Take a picture and email me. So pause it here, write those down. -2 plus -7, -4 plus -2, -2 plus -5, -1 plus -5, excuse me, -7 plus -3, and -3 plus -3. Excuse me. There are a couple other ways that we can add negative numbers. Sometimes we have to add negative numbers to positive numbers. Like, let's say that I borrowed $6 from you, so I was -6, and then I paid you back $2. So it's just -6 plus +2. So if I borrowed $6 and I gave you back 2, then how many would I owe you? Well, I'm over here at -6, and I'm adding a positive. So when I'm adding a positive, I'm going to the right. So I'm going to the right 2. So now I only owe you $4 or -4. Okay? None of those are on your assignment, but you're going to see them on Khan, and you're going to see them on your assignment on Thursday. So I just wanted to make sure that you had a little taste of that one. Okay, so remember, my office hours are Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 a.m. for academic questions, math questions, and noon for social time. And you can email me if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing you guys. Thanks.